All right. I think we're here live, and Brenda and I are here for readings. So, hello to everybody watching. If you're here, let us know. Tell us inside of the comments. And this is something that we're doing for fun for the holidays. I know that you've seen me a couple weeks ago and a couple weeks before that. And now I'm here with Brenda Grasjo. And Brenda is one of our mediums here at Messenger of Spirit. And we thought it would be fun to give you some messages and some readings here today. So if you are here live, let us know so that we can see you. And we'll tell you here in just a few minutes how to get a reading. We're going to be doing some free mini readings from Spirit today. And before we officially get started, as more people are coming and getting ready to get some Spirit messages, I thought I'd pull a couple cards. And maybe you want to do that too, Brenda,
All
if you
right.
feel like it. Just kind of see if what card we're getting right now with the energy before we get started with individual readings. So if you're here wanting an individual reading, stay with us. I'll tell you how to qualify for that in just a few minutes. There'll be something that you'll have to put in the comments. But I've got a card here, and this card is for everybody in the energy. And this is the card of the giraffe. It's time to stand out. Stand out, stand up for yourself. It's not time to hide. It's time to get out. Kind of like the puff your feathers up, like with a peacock, like this is who I am. It also helps you feel like the more I put my energy out there, the more protected I am because I'm surrounded with good vibes and good energy. And instead of feeling like, oh, the things are coming, it feels like this is a message to kind of even change your posture a little bit, to put yourself into a place where you feel more grounded, you feel more balanced, and you can stand up and stand out as well. So, Brenda, what did you get? I think I saw you pulling some cards.
Yeah, it's so funny that you got the giraffe about standing up because I got the stag spirit to take the
Oh,
lead. And if you look at the stag card, it has exactly what you were saying about like standing out, standing tall. I mean, look at that stag. That stag is
beautiful.
like in its own power there. So it's about leadership and standing out and being seen. And I think that's I feel like I've been getting that message for a lot of people lately. Collectively, this is what we need to be doing is like being leaders within our communities or in our own lives or in our friend groups and not getting swayed or sunk down by the collective energy that's heavy, that still feels heavy to me right now.
Yeah, definitely. I feel the heaviness, but I've also started to feel an energy kind of shift a little bit to
Hmm.
stand out. And I think that spirit is lending us this extra energy for all of us to get more centered and grounded in who we are. So I see that we've got some people here. So hello. And we're going to tell you how to qualify for a free reading. We're going to be doing free readings here in just a few minutes. I just want to let you know that Brenda is one of our mediums at Messenger of Spirit. And right now she has opened up some new times for December, January, and February. And right now during our Purple Friday sale that ends today, so it's going to end today at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern time, you can get over 23% off 1 hour readings and also over 24% off a 90-minute reading slash Reiki combo session. And so I'm going to touch in with Brenda here in just a few minutes to ask her what that is. But before we get started, let's go ahead and tune in and see what messages we want. Before we do that, you need to know how to qualify. So what I want you to do is in the comments, if you want a reading, I'd like for you to put your question in the comments with a heart emoji. Or if you don't have a question and you're just like, hey, tune in to me, just tune in and see what Spirit has to say, just put a heart emoji. It can be a purple heart, an orange heart, a yellow heart, a green heart. It can be a million hearts. Maybe not a million, but you know what I mean. Just put in a heart. That way it gives us permission to tune into your energy. And we're just going to be looking through the comments and see where we feel drawn. So if you would like a reading today, if you would like a message today, put a heart in the comments. If you have a specific question, put your question with a heart in the comments so we can make sure we get to you. And so as you're doing that, Brenda, can you tell us a little bit more about your reading style and what a reading slash Reiki session looks like with you? And hand it over to you.
Okay. So my reading style, I don't know.
It's
I
fun.
do, yeah, I do predominantly, I would say, mediumship readings. So I enjoy tuning in with people's loved ones on the other side and getting messages for them, or just affirming that, they're still there, y'all. They haven't gone anywhere. And just helping people feel that love from the other side. Like, that's my favorite thing to do. Not every session goes like that. Sometimes it's about things that you're dealing with in your personal life, or um like maybe other beings want to come in and work with you, and so that's where the conversation goes. So I never know what's going to happen ever.
Right.
So it keeps life really interesting. And then if you do a combo session, it depends on what you want. Do you want more of a reading? Do you want more time with energy healing work? Um, and with energy healing, I work with Reiki, but I also work with my guides and your guides and ascended masters and other light beings. And I tune into where you might have things going on in your body. And a lot of times I will get a message about where that where that issue might be coming from. Not every time, but sometimes I do. Like, is it something from your childhood that still is like stuck in your body as energy that needs to come out? So sometimes we talk through the session and I'll help you like with visualization and things like that as we work through doing clearing or healing work or whatever it is that needs to occur.
And Brenda and I actually went through Reiki class together and went through
Mhm.
mediumship training together. So we've known each other for a long time. And if you have gotten a reading from me, I would say probably the format of the readings are very similar because we were trained in the same way. But of course, we have our own different energy and vibe and style. And we have wonderful readers. And you can also choose to get a session with Michelle or Chandra. And so you can learn more about Brenda. You can learn more about our other readers at messengerofspirit.com. And today is when it ends at 7 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to get 23% off a 1 hour reading or 24% off a combo session at messengerofspirit.com/sale. So I'm going to put this right underneath us so you can see the URL. If you're like, yes, or you want to get a gift certificate for someone, you can also do that as well. And so that's like you're locking in your price now, and then you can schedule your reading for later in the next 6 months. It can be for yourself, it can be for somebody else. So, with that being said, I'm going to ask Brenda if you want to kick it off here and see who you feel drawn to read.
Well, Whitney, my friend, can't see anybody that's on the chat because
Really?
I'm in Slack, so I'm not in Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
you'll
this is
have to
what
tell me.
happens. Brenda and I were talking about our tech stuff today, and we've had email stuff. We have had tech stuff right here. So this is in StreamYard. You know that little link I sent you, Brenda?
Uh-huh.
When you go into that, do you see my face?
I see your face, honey.
Okay, go to the right of the screen. You see the comments on the right.
I see that.
Okay, you see the comments? You see anybody?
I see there's a private chat. Wait a minute, let me go to the
No,
comments.
no, go up to the comments.
Oh, look at all those
There
people.
you go. So today we were just talking. We've had email issues. We've had some other tech issues. We were having issues with this software, and Brenda said, "Is it Mercury retrograde or it's around Mercury retrograde?" I said, "Is it pre-shadow or is it it?" And we looked, and today is the last day of pre-shadow. Tomorrow we officially go into Mercury retrograde, so it's right on time. Right on time.
Right on time. Hello, everybody. Oh, it's so nice I see Toby. Hi, Toby. There's another Brenda. Oh my goodness. All right. So you want me to pick the first person?
Pick somebody who has a heart emoji in the comments so we know that
Okay.
it's we get permission.
Hmm. How about Christine Block? She just has a little heart emoji. So is there anything in particular that you have a question about, Christine, or do you just want us to tune in general and see what comes up?
I would say if there's no question, we'll probably end up tuning in general
Okay.
because it might be hard to find the answer. Sometimes it goes so fast.
Okay. All right. So I feel like there's a lot of moving parts in your life right now. And it's almost like a puzzle, and you're like trying to figure out where everything fits, and possibly like time as well, trying to figure out how to fit everything in the time that you need. And I'm seeing somebody off to your right side, and I feel like it's somebody who's there to help you. Um, and it feels like they are in spirit, and they're wanting to try to help you with your time management and making sure that everything gets done. It feels like a female spirit, and somebody who would have been kind of your cheerleader in life has a mother or grandmother type energy to me, like somebody who would be kind of pushing you forward and wanting to see you succeed. And they're showing me like a bouquet of purple flowers. I don't know what kind of flowers they are. Maybe lilacs, but they're like this huge bundle of purple flowers. So usually whenever I see that, it means that either they really like the color purple, or a specific purple flower was important to them. And it feels like within the next um, 3 weeks, there's something important coming up for you in the next 3 weeks that's going to solidify something in your life, like something you've been thinking about doing or wanting to do. It's like you're going to get the final, maybe it's that final puzzle piece that's going to help you move forward. She keeps using the word solidify your ideas and your your thoughts around how you want something to work. And it feels work related to me. So, I hope that's helpful.
Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate it. I was making sure I could find Christine Block. The comments are going so fast. So Christine, I hope you got your message. And thank you, Brenda, for letting me tune, or for you tuning into her. And thank you, Christine, for letting Brenda tune into you. So I did see a couple comments, and just kind of letting you know on some questions. So if you have a question, normally what we'll say is, what's the energy around something, or what are the right next steps to do X, Y, Z? Because in this kind of reading style, it would be a little bit harder to, talk about like who, because I saw a question was like who. Also, we are not able to comment on medication. I saw something like that in the comments too, because we don't prescribe, we can't diagnose, and those kind of things. So just kind of a FYI if you have a question, and if we choose you and we feel like we can't modify the question, we'll just give you a general reading of what Spirit wants to share with you as well. So hello, everybody. Thank you. I see more people have joined us here today. And I'm going to tune into Corey Ann. I would love to know if my spirit guides have any messages for me regarding my spiritual journey. So this is Corey Ann. And let's see what Spirit wants to share. So I'm going to work with these oracle cards here today and see what Spirit wants to share. Before I even get to the oracle cards, I am looking at your healing journey. It feels like there's more what I'm getting is like some inner healing work. But it feels like you have a spirit guide around you that is specialized in more of like a therapy kind of way. And so you might find yourself almost being drawn more to the counseling area, where you yourself might feel like you're kind of wanting to broach or breach that area for clients. But it just feels like there's a lot of positive support around therapy, but it's a spirit guide that's kind of talking about it around you. And they're talking about there's more for healing, but it feels really positive. So sometimes when we say healing, we think, oh no, and Spirit's saying, no, this is like a really positive thing for you, because it feels like you yourself are a healer. And this 2 cards for you. One card is talking about the hawk. So this is talking about change your perspective, and this is around your spiritual journey. And they're talking about sometimes it's important for you to kind of not get too focused on the next like details, and take a step back and look at where you want to go in general. And Spirit's talking about with manifesting, like, how do you want to feel? Instead of worrying about exactly what it looks like, they're wanting you to focus on feelings. And it feels like your energy, your vibration level is moving up higher. And so they're saying just focus on like your health, focus on your feeling, your energy, because you're pretty empathic, and part of your empathic nature, sometimes it needs a little bit more boundaries. And so this is the next card, is the protector guide. It's time to set boundaries with someone. This feels like an overall message for you is get to know your energy a bit more with your spiritual journey, like really lean into who you are even more. I know you're doing some of that already. I know you've discovered more about yourself already, but there's more to go. And they're also talking about a little bit discernment too with who you're working with as well. So it's more about cultivating the inner, continuing to cultivate the inner, and putting a little bit more boundaries around, who you are. And they're showing me like an energy container. So if you have an energy container, don't spill your energy over to some people who don't necessarily deserve it. And pay attention to how your energy feels when you're around these people too. So there's more there I think that Spirit can elaborate on. And so I'm going to ask you to tune into that, but I'm going to say thank you for letting me read you as I cut the connection off, and pass this over to Brenda to choose a new person.
There's so many people here.
I know. So nice. I'm glad
It
you're
is
here.
nice.
So
And
let me just say that if you're new and you want us to read you, we're obviously not going to get to everybody. We're going to go where we're drawn. But if you want a reading, please drop a heart emoji in the comments so that we know we have permission to give you a reading. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Okay, I feel like I want to go with Kim Giacomo. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering your last name. And her question is, why am I creatively stuck with my own art? I read it earlier and I've got like this gut punch in my solar plexus. And so I want to tune into that because I feel everybody's questions coming and it's like, bam, bam, bam. I'm getting like little hits here and there with everybody. Okay. So it feels like to me, there's something going on between the throat chakra and the solar plexus. And whenever I am reading this question in my mind, it's like, it feels like there's stuff that's like coming back and forth, but it's not coming out. So to me, it feels like something being stuck for expression, self-expression. Now, whether that's verbally that you're doing something, I don't think that it is, but I feel like finding your voice is going to help open up your solar plexus chakra. So think about something that was happening to you around the age of 8. And I feel like there was something that was going on in your childhood during that time that caused you to shut down your self-expression and your sense of self and your sense of who you were and your own power. And I feel like doing some inner child around whatever that was, and it could be something as simple as somebody in the schoolyard saying like, "Your art is stupid," or "You colored outside the lines," or it can be something as small as that that can like stick in our energy field. So try to do some like really think about that if you don't know what it is right offhand. It's like 7, 8 years old. There was something there. And I'm also pulling in like a father figure had something to do with that. So I don't know if there was issues with the father, like not believing in you or not cheering you on, um, or criticizing things that you did, but it feels like there's some work around father issues with that as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Brenda, for checking in and tuning in. And for everybody who's like, ooh, I want more, If you want a session with Brenda, you can go over to messengerofspirit.com/sale and either find a time in the next couple months or get yourself a gift certificate, and you can schedule with Brenda later if you don't know your schedule yet. But now I'm going to move on and I'm going to do a reading, and I feel like I'm drawn to Brenda Hurd. So Brenda Hurd, I'm talking to Brenda, but I'm talking to Brenda Hurd. I'm going to ask Spirit to tune in and see what messages are for you today. So the first thing they're talking about is feeling like I need to be a little bit more stable in my home, like my house where you live, that kind of thing. And so when they're talking about your house, I feel like there might be some changes around it that need to happen. It just feels like in the next, I'd say about 3 months or so, it's probably going to require some more financial resources to kind of fix it up a little bit. There's just going to be what feels like changes that need to happen. They're going to require financial resources within the home. And it feels like that's a priority. It's almost like you're kind of like, I don't want to deal with this, or I don't want to do this. And they're like, don't put it off, just do it. So it feels like in the next 2 months. But I did pull some cards for you, and I did get your environment. And so it's just a validation of what I said. And it's talking about there's a change. Your environment needs a change. And that's really like, yes. And so Spirit's working on that with you. Sometimes we feel like, I don't want to do this. And Spirit's saying it's going to have to be a priority. And so your house is a priority, but also it feels like your health is something that Spirit wanted to just reference for you too. And they're talking about pay more attention to your knee area. Feels like getting more like an energy work or allowing yourself to receive a little bit more healing in the knees. If I were to look at your body, it feels like we have some energy up top, but we need to kind of add more energy for balance in the bottom half of the body around the knees. And so they're just asking you to look at perhaps getting some energy session there, get an energy session, get energy there, or also pay attention, just be a little bit nicer to the knees too. I just see you kind of needing to rub the knees. Like it's like I just need a little less inflammation. So the last card I pulled for you here, Brenda, is the Ascended Masters card. And whenever we feel like the energy is intense, Spirit is saying Ascended Masters are here to help. So sometimes when the energy gets really intense, I see you not feeling like, you're supported, but Spirit's saying you are. And you might feel a little overwhelmed, and Spirit's saying you are like we're here to calm you. We're here to bring peace. And so just know you can call on your spirit helpers when you're feeling that overwhelmed feeling. And I have a sense that things are going to happen pretty fast over the next couple of months, where it almost feels like a whirlwind. And Spirit's just saying, we're here. We've got you. So just know that you've got support around you, even if you sometimes aren't sure you do. But thank you, Brenda, for letting me tune into your energy. All right, Brenda Grazjo, it's up to you now.
All right, I want to go to Maggie Tuza. She just made a big life change, moving to another country. Was that the right move? And what is next on this journey? So I've also done that, Maggie. And it can be really scary, especially after you've done it. And it's like, oh, what's next? So the first card that came flying out as I was tuning in was the closed door. So it's like you've made that decision, you've made the move. Now take the next steps. And then the Ascended Masters card flew out as well. So I feel like you're there for a reason. I feel like it's to meet someone or a group of people in particular that are going to be furthering your spiritual path. And I feel like you need to be looking for those people. There's something around the number 6, and I don't know if that's a time frame or if it's like a number of people. But I see a circle of people who are coming together to do spiritual work. I don't know if that's a meditation circle or if it's some sort of healing circle. but sitting in circle, and especially with other women, it feels like it's like some sort of women's spiritual community that are going to help each other grow. And I see that over like the next period of the next 3 years, if you choose to stay there and choose to explore this, because everything is a choice, right? Everything is a choice. You can choose not to, and you can choose to come back home. But if you choose to stay there over the period of the next 3 years, there's going to be a lot of inner changes for you that are going to make a big difference in your life, spiritually speaking, because you guys are going to be so supportive of each other. There's going to be a lot of growth and like feeling of like being able to be close with this group of women. And I want to pull one more card around that. Yeah. Oh, I gotta find the camera. Abundance. The universe is so generous. So I feel like you staying there and what you're doing is like you're the holy grail for you. So I think it's a great move. And sometimes it might feel like it's not a great move because been there, done that. But there's always a purpose for everything. So like congratulations for trying something hard, because it's hard to live in another country.
I love the synchronicity there, Brenda.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm going to tune in now to Rhonda Myers. And Rhonda, we're going to pull some cards for you and see what Spirit wants to share here today. Had a few fly out, but I don't think they're for you. So sometimes people ask me, do you take the cards that fly out? Sometimes not. All right. So the first card I have here is you're building a firm foundation. So it feels like you're starting at ground level on something right now. It's almost like a new cycle, a new phase of life. And take baby steps. Sometimes we want to take these giant leaps and we want to see massive change, and Spirit saying, just focus on one step after another, building a firm foundation. You might feel like things aren't changing fast enough, or you're not feeling like you're getting the progress that you want. And Spirit saying you're doing well, like you're doing good. Just focus on one step after another. And also they want to remind you to breathe. Sometimes it feels like you forget to breathe for yourself. It's like, just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. But it feels like there's a lot of balance happening as you're moving into the new year. So this is a good card. Just, I'm also hearing like, don't get ahead of yourself yet. Meaning stay present, stay in the body, take one step in front of the other. You don't have to know all the answers right now. The next card I wanted to pull for you too, this is such a beautiful message, is the receive card. So this is allow yourself to receive. It feels almost like you're trying to want to know something in advance of when you're meant to know it. It's like to stay in the present moment. You're building a firm foundation, but just allow yourself to receive the magic from Spirit, the stuff that doesn't make sense. So the stuff that's not logical, right? The stuff that we can't figure out how something's going to work, or we don't know, we want to know the plan, but Spirit's like, well, we've got the plan. Just allow yourself to receive it. And so I'm seeing Spirit start to work with you a little bit more in the moment instead of giving you insight a couple days out or a couple weeks out. Feels like you're supposed to know things more in the moment, and Spirit's wanting you to experience more messages through your body as a channeler. So pay attention to your body. It's just such a huge vessel for you specifically to know the messages that are coming in. And it's like, that's how Spirit's communicating. And then the last message I'll give to you is they're showing me you writing. And it feels like take pen and paper more than typing and write out some of these feelings or these messages that you're getting, and just write. Feels like that's just important for you in general to do some writing, and kind of, it's like almost like a catalog. It's going to feel like a catalog of your thoughts. But it's really coming from spirit. So that's what they're asking for you. So thank you for letting me read you. All right. Your turn.
I think it's so funny that we keep pulling the same cards back to back or saying the same things. So I want to talk to Barbie Caroline. She says, I've been numb, lost, and I'm doing my best to keep my chin up. Anything for me, please. So I feel you, girl. I'm sorry that you're going through that and that is how you are feeling. So the cards that I pulled, the first one was the doorkeeper, and that's about discernment and who gets to have access to you. So I feel like this is a time for you to just really focus on yourself and not be so focused on what other people are doing, or if there's somebody who's like really disturbing your peace and what it is that you need in your life, maybe you need to step away from some people for a little while. I almost feel like this is a time for you just to like cocoon. When we feel like that, when we're numb and we don't know what's next, sometimes we just need to be like in hermit mode, right? So then I pulled the earth card as well. Same as Whitney that she pulled. And for me with this one, yeah, you're building a firm foundation, but I also feel like you need to get outside. You need to get out in nature. You need to get yourself grounded in order to connect. Because if we stay inside too much, we get really lost in our own thoughts and our own BS. I have to watch my language. And so get outside and like connect with mother nature, touch a tree, talk to the animals when you're outside walking. I do that all the time. It's great. And then the other card I pulled was the channeler. And you were talking about that, Whitney. But your body is intuitive. So if you are feeling numb, listen to your body and cocoon yourself, hermit yourself, take care of yourself, drink lots of water, go outside, connect with nature, connect with animals if you have animals to connect with. I think I know other people in my life who are also very on a spiritual path are also feeling the same way right now. So I don't know if a lot of us are just collectively going through this, like not knowing what's next. Like we're not where we were, and we're not where we're going because the frequencies are changing and our bodies are changing and our frequencies are changing. And it's like you're in this in between space. So really just take good care of yourself right now, Barbie. That's what spirit wants you to know.
Mm.
And thank you.
I feel like that is a message for a lot of us right now, feeling like we're almost like we were on a path and we got picked up and put somewhere else and we're trying to figure out what our path is now, kind of thing. It's interesting is what I'll say.
Yep.
All right. We're going to do a few more of these messages. And if you're brand new here, just drop a heart emoji if you want a reading. We're just kind of being guided to where we are in the comments. And we will have your permission to do a reading if you put hearts in the comments. And for all of you who are just brand new, we have the Purple Friday sale, which is my version of Black Friday. Ends today, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And you can get 23% off an hour reading. You can also get 40% off these oracle cards that I'm using as well. messengerspirit.com/sale. So I'm going to go ahead and hide the comment that we did, and I'm going to choose Jen AZ. So Jen AZ, let's see what Spirit has in store for you today. Every time I go to do a reading or oracle cards, I have a spirit guide that tells me to uncross my legs for the flow of energy, and I get yelled at. And I always cross my legs, and I just heard, uncross your legs. I'm like, okay, fine. So that first card is throat chakra. This is talking about speaking up, letting things out, expression, release, all of those things for you. Release is a big one. Feels like really not even explaining, expressing who you are, letting emotion out, not hiding those things, just voicing. It feels really important, and standing up for yourself, which is a similar theme that's come through this reading event today. So part of it is communication with some relationships around you, but it feels like there's some stuff inside almost in your solar plexus, even though this is a throat chakra card. And it's kind of been balled up there for a while and it needs to come out. And so they're talking about clearing. And the best way to help release energy is to clear it. And I feel like it needs to come out with crying, it needs to come out with talking, it needs to be expressed. And it's just really a big, big thing I can feel in your energy. And this next card is the air, which is about communication. So it's stop thinking about it and express it with communication. So it feels like it's kind of across a couple different topics. One, it feels like close relationships, feels like it's like I don't need to hide anymore. I need to come out and express how I'm feeling. But in general, it feels like you've got some stuff bottled up that you need to communicate and express, whether it's in front of somebody, or not, like just expression. So a lot of that theme coming up here today, Brenda. And thank you, Jen, for letting me read you.
Okay. I want to read for Lilybug. She wanted to know if there's any blockages in her chakras. And I pulled 3 cards for you. And I think it's really interesting the way that they played out. And you were talking about air, because that was the message I was getting for her as well. So I got, first of all, I pulled the butterfly card. So it's time to break through your limits. Also, it flies around in the air, right? And then I pulled the detox. It's time to purge and let go and really and clear your energy. And then I got the dragonfly, another air animal. So I felt like you need a good overall cleansing. And I wouldn't say that any one thing is blocked or open or whatever. I just feel like you need to do like a full body cleanse. And I feel like it could include what you eat, what you drink, what you're taking into your mind, what you're putting in your mouth, like food wise. I think it would be a good idea for you to do some sort of bodily cleanse. Whatever you research and find that you think is best for you, use your intuition with that. And I also feel like wind is supposed to clear things out of you. So I feel like breath work would be really good to clear out anything that's stuck. And I want to answer Steve McCann really quick too, because I was really feeling drawn to his question. He wants to be able to see again. And I want to say breath work for you too, Steve, because that will open up a lot of things and put you in a different state of mind if you're really working with like doing breath work with like an instructor. Or that's what I would do.
Yeah, I love that. All right, I'm going to do a reading for Callie, and I'm not sure how to say your last name. It's maybe C. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure. But Callie, I put your name up. So even if I'm not doing well with the last name, you can see that I am asking Spirit to give messages to you. So Callie. All right. You want to know if you should focus on being in media or trauma work. All right. So the first card that I've got here is talking about listen to your body. Right. So do a lot of grounding. And also this is the root chakra. So it feels like there's a lot of, I would say, work that you're going to be doing around the root of something, stuff that started a long time ago. And when I was shuffling the cards, my answer was both. It feels like looking at mediumship and your trauma work, it feels like both. So this is one of the things that they're saying is, it's going to be really important for you to help with your mediumship to kind of see where things are in the body, but also the trauma work part of it, because there's a lot of release that needs to happen. And then this card came out, and this is your purpose is being revealed. So it feels like you might be trying to box things in a little bit too much, and Spirit's talking about you're going to be kind of blending your own. And it feels like blending both of those things, like being a medium and the trauma work together. And it feels like you don't have to choose. You can do both. And I know that sometimes our brain wants nice, neat piles and, we want signposts that say here, but it feels like you forging in your own direction is going to be really something. You've got such great skills and Spirit doesn't want you to, let go of those skills. So it feels like both. So Brenda, if you could do maybe another reading, and then we can just do a general reading for everybody before we close.
Yes. So Nancy R is asking, what kind of work or service do you see me doing in the future? I feel like there's a lot of animals around you, Nancy, and I don't know if you work with any kind of animal rescues or helping with animals. But I see like training animals, and I don't know if that's training them to be service dogs and service cats or emotional support animals. But I see you doing work with animals in some way, animals and children. So however that resonates with you, I see all kinds of animals. I'm seeing dogs and cats and horses and yeah, there's something around you working with animals and children. So I feel like that's what I see for you. So I'm going to pull one card to go with that. Yeah, it's a choice, honey.
Yeah.
Everything is a choice. So what do you want to do?
Yeah.
I think, it's really interesting when people have specific questions and they want somebody else to tell them, like, what should I be doing?
Right.
And really it's like, it's up to you.
I
And
know.
we have this experience that we get to have in this human meat suit that we're wearing right now. And so what do you want to do?
Right.
Like, do whatever you want to do. Like, we're probably going to come back. We're going to have to do this stuff again. So like, try it all.
Yeah. I tell people that work with me about life purpose. And it's like we come in with an archetype. We have an energetic imprint. Is what Spirit's always showed me. And then usually within that, we have all these different options to choose, and it can change. And I think sometimes we think that we have to do one thing, the rest of our lives. And we could do one thing for a couple months or a couple years and then change. And I think people are worried that they're off purpose when they change these things. And really it's not. Our spiritual purpose is just being here and learning.
Yep.
And then we have our life purpose, which is usually a collection of skills that we have. And then our path is what we choose.
Exactly.
We get to choose the path. Okay. So let's just ask Spirit if there's any last messages that Spirit wants to share for everybody.
Okay.
So I did have a card fly out, and I am going to use that card. And the card that flew out was the fairies. Stop thinking so much and remember to play. I think we're getting caught a little bit too much in the weeds and getting a little too serious. And so Spirit's talking about, remember to play, remember to have fun, but also get outside a little bit more. We need more outside. And then Spirit's also talking about, if you can't go outside, bring the outside inside. Like, we need a little bit more feng shui. Now, I did have a couple other cards too. And so this one is talking about your third eye. This is a card for everybody. And you see what that says is visualize the outcome. And so Spirit's saying, instead of getting caught up in the details, the best way to manifest is to visualize the outcome and play and have fun. Like, you can't just be sitting on your couch. You have to take some aligned steps when you feel intuitively like these are the steps. But the best way is through joy when you're really wanting something. So visualize outcome, see it, feel it, enjoy, and it's okay to have fun. And then the outcome card here is the one that we've seen already today, but it's, you're building a firm foundation. That's what's happening when you do these two things. So I'm going to pass that along. Brenda, what did you get?
I love this. Focused intention, as you were saying.
Yeah.
Like, focus on what it is that you want to create in your life, and maybe don't get caught up in the how you're going to create it, but just, having that visualization of how you want to see things. And then, as we've been talking about again, the inner strength. Like, you have the strength to do whatever it is that you want to do. Use that fire that you have inside of you, and focus on what it is that you want to create in your life. Do you want to create more love, more joy, more time, more love with the people that you have around you, more relationships? Just really use that inner fire to create what it is that you want to have in your life.
Yeah, those are good messages. I see Susie said, no, I don't want to come back. I'm like, I feel you. But you know what? If we're
Right.
saying it, we're probably coming back.
Yeah, I saw so many people that I've seen before. So hi everybody. It's so nice to see you on
Yeah,
here again. I
it's
wish we could have gotten to
wonderful.
everybody.
I do
Oh, there's
too. And
Sam.
I'm sure we'll do this
Yeah.
again sometime. But I did want to say thank you to everybody who is here. And also, if you want to take advantage of our Purple Friday sale ends tonight, go to messengerspirit.com/sale. I'm going to be back in a couple weeks in December. I'm going to be doing something like this again, but I'll be here with Michelle. So stay tuned. Make sure that you're getting my emails. Check out the website. And you can, if you're like, I'm not on your email list, go to messengersphere.com. You can sign up for one of the many freebies I have, and you'll be on my email list. I'll tell you when the next event we're doing here for the holidays is. And thank you, Brenda, so much for being here and spending time with us.
Thank you. It was so much fun.
It was.
Nice
All
to
right.
see everybody.
Yeah, I hope everybody has a good holiday if you're here in the US. And I will see you all soon. All right. Bye.
Bye guys.